You are not lazy. In fact, it is just avoiding hearing a truth that has long needed to be told. Pay attention, because these words can transform your life if, of course, you don't close this message into 30 seconds, as it does everything that is not just to distract. How many times have you repeated to yourself, in a moment I start, tomorrow wakes up early, on Monday everything changes? Know that this is not lazy. It's fear. Fear of facing reality about who you are, because recognizing that it all depends on you means taking responsibility. And it scares much more than any excuse. You are not lazy. It is only wrong every day. And I know what I'm talking about. I am over 60 and grew up in a Jewish family where the word tired was not accepted as justification. My grandfather worked on at dusk not because I wanted to, but because it was your duty. And on Saturday, he rested. Do you know why? Because who really dedicates themselves deserves rest. Who only pretends to act faster than anyone. You are not exhausted. It is lost, lives a life that is not yours. It feeds on the successes of others on social networks instead of building its own. It slides, observes, likes, but does not move. And deep down, this erodes him. It is not the lack of will that paralyzes it, but the lack of purpose. When a person knows why he wakes up in the morning, he doesn't need an alarm clock. It awakens driven by an inner flame. Without meaningless, even the simplest tasks become mountains. I will tell you a phrase that will not get out of your head. While calling your laziness apathy, it will never change because you are fighting the wrong enemy. Don't you want to get up early? It is not weakness. It's just that you don't see a reason to open your eyes. It goes to a job that hates, lies with people who do not inspire you, and repeats a routine that chokes your soul. Then tell me, where will your energy come from? And he asked me, how do you realize everything? Do you have more hours on the day? No, my son. I am more clear about why I do what I do. When you discover your purpose, you find time, strength, and even exits where there seem to be none. In Jewish tradition, there is a teaching: if you woke up, it is because you have a mission. Otherwise, it would no longer be here. Think about it. Each morning is a sign that you got one more chance, or the way scrolling the phone screen, or starts listening to yourself. Today you will hear what you have always avoided, and it will not be pleasant, but it will be real. Because a hard truth of those who live decades is worth more than 100 sweet lies of those who have never felt the weight of the experience. Now let's go deeper. Stay here. I will explain why your life is still, what to do to get out of the cycle, and how to regain control. Believe me, your problem is not laziness, but the fact that you forget who you are. And it's time to remember. Do you know what is the biggest mistake of those who feel stagnant? Search for motivation in videos, books, or inspiring phrases. For a while, it seems that something changes, but soon apathy, procrastination, lack of energy, and the person concludes, it must be me, I'm lazy. But my grandfather would say, when there is no fire inside, the person seeks external sparks, but the real fuel comes from himself. You are not lazy. It just lives disconnected from yourself, and it's not your fault. He grew up in a world that taught to hear everyone but his own voice. At school, they said what to be. In networks, they show how to live. The parents indicated the safe path. Society has defined success such as home, car, cell phone, but no one taught him how to ask. Why will tell a story. In Jerusalem, he frequented the Mahane Yehuda market, a vibrant, authentic place. There, I met a 20-year-old Arabic who sold fruits. I asked, why are you here all day, in the sun, in the middle of the noise? He smiled. I have 4 sisters and a sick father. I want them to study and realize their dreams. I work since 6 in the morning because I have a reason. Did you understand? He doesn't question if he is tired. Do not seek motivation on the internet. It just acts, because you know why you do that. In Jewish tradition, there is the concept of kavana. It is not enough to do. It is necessary to do with intention. A prayer without kavana is empty. A work without kavana is torture. A life without kavana is suffering. People run in circles, thinking they are productive, but they are actually running away from themselves. Therefore, at the end of the day, you throw yourself on the exhausted bed, with the feeling that nothing was worthwhile because it acted in the automatic, without conscience, without soul. Why don't you do what you know to be needed? You know the importance of taking care of health, of developing, leaving the comfort zone. What prevents you? There are no resources or strength. It's just that it sees sense to you. And you know why? Because it never stopped to really hear. Questions you never ask yourself. What is really important to me? What legacy do I want to leave? What would you do without receiving anything in return? Who am I, beyond the roles I play and the expectations of others? When it starts to answer this, you will stop fighting laziness. Will begin to reconnect with oneself. This is the essence of Jewish wisdom. It is not about being better than others, but being honest with you, to build a life that makes sense, not that follows a mold. There is a teaching in the Talmud. It is not up to you to finish the work, but you cannot exempt yourself from doing it. That is, you don't have to change everything at once, but you can't stand still. This takes the pressure and gives direction. You don't have to become someone else overnight, but it should take at least one step every day. I met an old wise in my community that said, when it is dark, do not curse the darkness. Light a candle. You complain about life, fatigue, routine, pressure. It's no use grumbling. Light a candle. The candle is the action, however small. Did you write down an idea? He lit a candle. Did you go out to run? He lit a candle. Did you hung up your phone for an hour to reflect? He lit a candle. Light attracts more light. When you start acting, energy comes and laziness disappears because it loses its terrain. Want practical steps. Here are: first, stop being called lazy. Each time you do this, you program your mind to inertia. Second, ask yourself, why? Why do you work where you work? Why do you live where you live? Why do you spend time with certain people? Third, eliminate the noise. Free from what it does not add. Empty social networks, toxic relationships, meaningless obligations. Fourth, cultivate the silence. Empty conversations are like wind that erases the flame. Stillness is the first step to honesty with oneself. When you stop filling each space with noise, it starts to hear what really matters. Fifth, write a diary. Every day, fill in a page with what you felt, what you wanted, what you understood. It doesn't have to be literature, just be true. In a month, you will notice something surprising, an inner base forming, like roots that support a tree. It's not magic, it's self-knowledge in action. Six, Audra really unwillingly. There is a Jewish saying that says, action generates inspiration, not the other way around. Do not expect the mood to arrive as an invitation. Start. That energy comes in the movement. You're not a machine that turns on or off, it is a soul that burns or goes out. And your mission is to keep this flame alive. Yes, sometimes it hurts. Sometimes it is afraid. But nothing is more boring than a life lived without purpose. My father used to say, if you wonder why, every day, it's because it's still alive. Laziness is not your enemy, it is a sign that you have disconnected from your inner compass. You are not doing what you're, or who should, for the right reason. Want to recover your strength, recover your meaning. The sense gives energy. The resurrect meaning. The meaning makes laziness disappear without struggle, because it simply becomes unnecessary. So, let's summarize what really matters. You are not lazy. This is the truth that needs to anchor in itself now. Laziness is not a disease, a sentence, or perpetual conviction. It's just a warning of your soul. You have lost contact with me. Live that fire that has already made you want to create. Move forward, live with intensity. If he thought he had no strength, it was actually lacking purpose. If he believed he was weak for not doing the duty, it is because he forgot why that duty. Remember what my grandfather said? A man who survived wars, poverty, but never lost the strength of the spirit. For him, the strength was not in the muscles or the hour's work, but in the intention, in the daily forge, the knowledge why he wakes up in the morning, why he insists when everything collapses. Do you know why many Jewish families, despite all trials, move on? Because they have one for what? They fight for the coming, the memory of those who are gone, by themselves. And you can too. But for that, you need to stop running in circles. You need to look into your fear and ask what do I really want? Why am I here? What makes me burn? When you find your answers, the laziness will evaporate alone. You will feel a flow of strength, even if nothing around you change, because true strength is born from within. What I do know, I do not promise it will be easy, but I promise it will be authentic. One, stop 10 minutes of silence a day. Wake up early. Fill a cup of tea and ask the questions that matter. Two, write down your answers, your fears, your desires. The paper is the bridge between you and your soul. Three, act in small. Don't require miracles. Light a candle today. Tomorrow, light another. Over time, you will see that these flames come together in a fire. Remember, you are not alone. There are millions that feel the same, and I'm here to help you find your way. Together we are stronger. One last wisdom to take. The Jewish people went through everything: loss, exile, pain. But he learned that even when everything seems lost, life asks us to follow with open heart and clear mind. If something here has resonated with you today, it is no coincidence. There are no chances. Each word, every moment, is a step in your awakening. You have already taken the first step. It has come here. This means that the spark there is. Now, don't let her out. If you want to go on this path, follow the space. I will share only what works, no magic formulas, but wisdom tested by time and life. Tell us in the comments what moves you, your story, your doubts. Together we light more light. And remember, Don't be lazy to live your life. Start to hear yourself. Light your candle and advance one step at a time. See you soon. With affection and respect. Your guide, M.